Hey y'all, it's me. I'm back. I know it's been a long time. It's been over a year, but Happy New Year's. Um, I'm back, and it's just I'm just gonna get into this. So today I thought I was gonna tell y'all where I've been since it's like the beginning of the year, and I've been gone for like over a year, but I'm not gonna do that. I found something that's much more important to talk about, which is the 5 tips to better your relationship with God in the year 2020. I feel like this is more important than you telling you where I've been for the past year and a half. Okay, guys, so these 5 tips, I am not sure where I got these from. I wrote them down like 2 years ago, and I just found like the journal that I wrote them down in. Most likely, it's somewhere from off of Pinterest. But just listen to these tips. I'm going to be applying them to my life because God knows that I need them. That's why I'm sharing them with you so we can grow together. So let's get started. Okay, so tip number one. Start with God, stay with God, and end with God. Self explanatory. So basically, you wake up, you should always start your day off talking to God. So that could be your private, intimate time with God. You read your word and all that type of stuff. Stay with God, meaning talk to Him throughout the day. That also includes the Holy Spirit, and have the Holy Spirit with you and listening to the Holy Spirit. And then end with God. Just end off your day talking to God, I guess. So that's step number one. Oh, tip number one, not step number one. Tip number one. Tip number two is to read the Bible every day. That is very important because God reveals Himself through His Word. So when you read the Bible, you're guaranteed to hear from God. The third tip is to take a time for solitude. So this means you need a quiet time once a day, y'all. Like that, it's not much. It can be 5 minutes, but just take some time just to talk to God, spend time with Him. Quiet time is super important. Read your word, pray to Him, have worship time. Just take time out for just you and Him. No phones, no social media, no other people, just you and Him. The fourth tip is to self evaluate yourself. I do this every day. Well, I started doing this every day. I have a journal at the end of each day, even though it's only January 3rd. I basically write down how my day went and just self evaluate, see where I could have done things differently, and find places in my life that I need to grow in, really. And also, I also take that time to be like positive too, being like, I did this well, I'm doing good with this. So it's kind of like it's gonna balance each other out really. But make sure you take time to self evaluate. This is super important, and also make sure you just be honest with yourself. See if there's anything in your life that's taking you away from God. Just that's very important because if there is something, you need to take that out of your life. Period. The last tip, but not least, make sure you're praying. Praying is super important. Praying is simply talking to God. It doesn't have to be a formal ish prayer. Just make sure you're talking to God, just as I'm talking to you right now. Because guess what? He wants to hear from you all the time. And as you can see, all those 5 tips kind of correlate. Like it all comes together. So if you're doing one, most likely you're doing another one. So just those are simple tips to do, and just take those tips and just incorporate them in your daily life for the year 2020. So yeah, that's all I have today, guys. But just know I will be back. I will not ghost y'all again. I promise. Um, I'll be back. So thanks again. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And just use these tips that I've given you. I surely will be using them because I'm preaching to myself. But just use them in your everyday life, and you will find yourself growing closer and closer to God every day. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. Lia J is out. Bye.